Installing a hidden camera in my bedroom really saved my butt. My roommate's new boyfriend, Jonas, was charming. Too charming. Everyone who ever met him fell in love with him easily. Everyone except me. There was something about him that made my skin crawl. Maybe it was his lingering looks, or when he stepped up behind me, close enough for me to feel his breath on the back of my neck. He only acted like that when my roommate Gemma wasn't around. I remember the day he let himself into our apartment with a key that he had made without my knowledge. He claimed that Gemma gave him a key to copy, and Gemma confirmed his story, telling me he was going to stay with us for a while. It was only temporary, but Jonas acted like he was moving in. He moved in boxes, and suddenly he was everywhere. He stayed up until 3 in the morning watching TV and playing video games. I ran into him every morning after taking a shower. I started bringing my clothes to the bathroom so he wouldn't catch me in a towel anymore. I could still feel his beady eyes roaming over my body. I shuddered in disgust just thinking about it. He started finding excuses to come to my bedroom. Sometimes he would even knock on my door around midnight after Gemma was asleep. I never answered his knocks, so he started barging in without knocking. So I installed a lock on my door. Jonas complained to Gemma, who told our landlord that I was modifying the apartment. The landlord called me to tell me to get rid of the lock. I had no choice, so I installed a hidden camera in my room instead. I caught him going into my room when I wasn't home, but when I told Gemma about it, she dismissed my concerns. I felt unsafe in my own home, so I started documenting everything. I saved the videos I had of him breaking into my room, and I started avoiding him completely. I overheard him one night complaining to Gemma about how I was being very unwelcoming to him. Gemma called me to the living room after that, as if I was a naughty child in trouble. "Why are you being so rude to Jonas?" she demanded. I just stared at her. "When you set boundaries and tell your boyfriend to stop ogling me when you aren't watching, then I might be nicer," I said coldly. Gemma looked surprised before her eyes narrowed in anger. "He isn't doing anything wrong," she snapped. I raised an eyebrow. "So when he touched my ass the other day and didn't let go of me until I twisted his arm behind his back, that wasn't wrong of him?" I asked in a hollow tone. Her face flushed. "He wouldn't do that," she yelled. "He told me you came onto him and I believe him." I rolled my eyes. "Of course you did," I muttered. I left the living room after that, ignoring Gemma yelling my name. I stayed in my room for the rest of the night. Jonas stayed away, which I was grateful for. I had a conference to go to for work the next day. I was relieved I wouldn't be at home for a week. It was day 2 of the conference when my phone started blowing up with calls from the local police department, my parents, and a few friends. I checked the voicemail from the police department first. Someone broke into my bedroom while I was gone and stole everything. My personal laptop, jewelry, my game console, my TV, anything expensive I might have had. I immediately pulled up a video feed from my camera. It was Jonas. Of course it was. I immediately packed my things and headed home. Jonas and Gemma were both sitting in the living room when I let myself inside the apartment. Gemma leaped to her feet, face red with anger. "You did this!" she yelled. "How could you just leave your bedroom door unlocked like that? You were practically begging someone to steal your stuff. Was this a play for insurance?" For a moment I just stared at her. Then I laughed, long and hard. She was blaming me for what her boyfriend did to me. Unbelievable. "I have proof it was Jonas," I said sharply. Gemma fell silent immediately, eyes wide and pale. I installed a hidden camera in my room. Jonas immediately paled and leaped to his feet, eyes flashing with desperation. "Delete it," he ordered harshly. I smirked at him. "I already sent the evidence to the police," I answered. "They should be here soon." Gemma suddenly screamed as Jonas lunged for me with determination in his face. His hands managed to wrap around my throat and squeeze. I gasped for breath and clawed at his fingers, but he held on tight. Right as my vision started fading to black, his grip on me suddenly loosened and he fell to the floor, unconscious. Gemma stood over him with a lamp in her hand, visibly shaking. Tears filled her eyes. "I'm so sorry," she sobbed. "I never should have believed him." I nodded at her. "Come on," I said quietly. "We need to go to the police station." I was lying when I said I already gave the evidence to them.